All right, yeah, good morning, everybody. Jason Latimer with Visit St. Pete Clearwater. Thank you guys for coming out. As we sent out, it's a great day for us here as we open up Clearwater Beach. I want to turn it over to Clearwater Mayor Bruce Rector.
Well, thank you all for coming today. We had a lot of damage, obviously, from 2 hurricanes in 2 weeks, but one thing that was not damaged was our beautiful white sand beach. One of the top 15 white sand beaches in the entire world. That's still here. Our beautiful sunshine, Florida sunshine and warm weather we enjoy, that's still here. And our spectacular sunsets that guests have enjoyed here on Clearwater Beach for years, those are still here. So there was a lot damaged, but there was a lot that was not damaged. And so we're trying to help our tourism industry recover from these storms. And we wanted to get the word out today to you all that we have most of our resort hotels are open again. And many of our restaurants are open again. And the folks that work in those hotels and restaurants, they need work to feed their families. So we wanted to know, you all to know that we've already had several conferences here, business conferences, 450 attendees, and that I really want to congratulate our city workers, our hospitality industry, our community for pulling together to get this beach in shape, this beautiful shape that it's already in. There's still a lot to be done. We still got debris, and that debris is going to be around here, certain spots for a period of time. But by and large, when folks come out here, whether you're coming in from Tampa Bay or you're coming in from anywhere around the country, you're going to have the same to similar fantastic experience staying on Clearwater Beach that you've already had. Like I said, there's still a lot of debris we've got to get going and get out of here. Our city workers have done an amazing job of clearing debris from buildings that were damaged, but also restoring a lot of sand back to this white sand beach that was washed out into the streets. They've done amazing work to get it to where it is today, and I want to congratulate and thank all of our thousands of city employees who helped us get it to where it is today. But as I said, there's still a lot of work to do, and we can all help one another as a community and help our hospitality industry by picking up wherever we see debris or litter or trash that's still blowing around. Our employees and our partners with the county and the state are working very hard to get rid of the piles, but there are still places where citizens may see trash or debris on sidewalks and roadways, and if we all just get around to picking up a little bit, it will really help our community and our tourism industry to do well. And I want to make sure that folks, particularly here in Tampa Bay, are mindful of the very hard time that our hospitality workers are having. They depend on their paychecks, every one of them, to feed their families, to support their families. So now's the time, as we're trying to pull tourism back in to Clearwater Beach and all of the beaches in the Barrier Islands in Pinellas County, that we be mindful of that we take care of those servers who are working hard to try to feed their families by maybe tipping a little extra, maybe choosing to eat out a meal where you hadn't planned to do that, but anything we can do locally to support our hardworking hospitality industry workers would be much appreciated at this time. We're all pulling together as a community. I've talked with Mayor Castor and Mayor Welch and all the leaders throughout Tampa Bay over the past month, and we're pulling together to not just make Clearwater Beach shine brighter than ever, but our entire Barrier Islands, Pinellas County, and our entire Tampa Bay region. And if we continue to do that, Tampa Bay's and Clearwater Beach's best days are ahead of it. So with that, I'll introduce the Commissioner Brian Scott from the Pinellas County Commission.
Good morning, and thank you all for being here today. And Mayor Rector, I do want to just take a moment to recognize your incredible leadership through the storms and through the recovery process. You're out in the community everywhere, you led by example, and you have a very grateful community because of that. So Pinellas County has had an interesting few months. We had 3 tropical events in 60 days and 2 major storms in 13 days. That's absolutely unprecedented. It's never happened before, at least not in recorded history that I can see. Some have called it a 100-year storm, others have called it a 1,000-year event. Either way, whether it doesn't happen for another 100 years, another 1,000 years, I'm good with that. But Mother Nature knocked us down, but she did not take us out. We are still shining. Just look at this beautiful beach. And I am just so incredibly impressed with the resiliency of our community. Immediately after the storms, people got to work. They got out there, they started cleaning up, they started repairing, they started rebuilding, and then slowly they started reopening. And while we're not at 100% yet, it's going to take a little while for us to get 100%. We've got more bars, restaurants, hotels, attractions coming online every single day. Tourism is the #1 economic driver in Pinellas County. 1 in 10 jobs are directly related to the hospitality industry. And as Mayor Rector outlined, they're hurting right now. They need visitors, they need to get back to work. We need to get those folks back to work. So we need visitors to do that. So we want you to come back. We're ready for you to be here, and we're going to accept you with open arms. And even though we may not be 100%, when you think about Clearwater Beach at, say, 90%, it is so much better than so many other destinations you go to that are at 100%. So why wouldn't you come to Clearwater Beach? Pinellas County has so much to offer, from world-class museums, catch a concert at the Sound, spend a day hopscotching up and down the beach, from Clearwater Beach down to Paso Grill on the beach trolley, a fishing charter. We have a great trail system. However you want to spend your time vacationing and your leisure time here in Pinellas County, there is an activity for you. And I promise that you will have a great time. We're open, we want you to come back, we need you to come back, and we look forward to seeing you soon. And with that, I'm going to introduce Brian Lowack, President of Visit St. Pete Clearwater.
Sir? Yeah. Well, before I get started, can I just get a round of applause for this epic day out here on America's best beaches in this weather? How about it? So I couldn't think of a better place to be out here today having this press conference than on America's best beach. And, you know, to walk around and see visitors on the beach, at the pool, restaurants open, welcoming guests again, that's the case up and down our beaches throughout the community. And for the last 3 weeks, the community, business owners, and their staff have worked day and night around the clock to make sure that the destination is ready to welcome visitors back to our slice of paradise. In fact, as we stand here today, almost 80% of the destination has its doors open for business. And in addition to these beaches and this incredible weather, the next month we've got a plethora of great events on the lineup, starting just this weekend right here on Clearwater Beach with the P1 Aqua X Jet Ski Championships. Down on the southern part of the community in St. Petersburg, the Savor St. Petersburg Food and Wine Festival is occurring. Later on, we've got also in St. Petersburg the 10th anniversary of the Shine Mural Festival in St. Petersburg. We also have the LPGAs rolling into town in a couple weeks, right up the road in Bel Air at the Pelican for the Game Bridge, driven by Annika LPGA Championship. And we also have the Reggae Rise Up concert series in St. Petersburg later this month. So St. Pete Clearwater is still shining. If you have a trip planned on the books now, come on down, don't cancel it. If you're thinking, should I come down to the beach in Pinellas County? The answer is yes, and we'd love to have you. Thank you all for being out here today.
Okay, we'll open up for questions. We have our 3 speakers. So if you guys want to raise a hand and direct a question, you guys want to come up closer to the mic? If anybody has any?
Yeah,
Start.
Mayor, is it safe to swim at the beach with all the case of bacteria?
Okay. Well, we ask people to use caution. You know, with every storm, things get mixed around in the water, and we're never exactly sure what gets mixed around and what levels. We know the county's doing some testing, and we'll share some information with us hopefully soon. But people just need new good judgment. If you've been here for any length of time, you understand that things get mixed around in the water during a storm, and just to use good judgment about getting in the water.
Mayor, coastal management estimates from Hurricane Helene, Pinellas County's coast might have lost anywhere up to 1 million cubic yards of sand. How has this affected your coastline, and are you considering applying for a permit for renourishment here?
Well, absolutely, and I'll let the commissioner and Mr. Lowack speak to it. But Certainly, you look at the dunes, and the dunes have changed quite a bit just here on Clearwater Beach. So I know it's been a regional and a county-wide effort. All the mayors along the barrier islands been very interested in that, trying to get cooperation from the Army Corps of Engineers to do that. So certainly it was an issue before. It will definitely be an issue now. And I know myself and other leaders will be asking our federal government to take a hard look and to see if they can help us with that. But
Yep.
Commissioner?
Yeah, we're actually actively in the permitting process with the Army Corps of Engineers right now, so that is ongoing. It's been a challenge dealing with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, and they're insistent on permanent easements, which has really held up our process in beach renourishment. But I think if there's a positive outcome with these storms, is this has put a real explanation point on the need to get past that issue and get these beaches renourished as soon as possible.
And then, Mr. Loke, just for clarity, did you say 80% of businesses, hotels, restaurants are back open right now? And do you have a sense in the last month of what kind of toll, if you can put a number on it, the storms have taken on tourism here in Clearwater?
Yeah, so we are in constant communication with our hotel, our accommodation, our restaurant, all of our partners throughout the destination. And based on their feedback, countywide throughout the destination, almost 80% of businesses are back up and running. And you know, as far as impact on tourism, sure, there was a short-term impact on it. In the future, that's to be determined. But the hotels that are up and running, collecting bed tax, that are housing displaced residents, they're housing folks that are in town, responding to the recovery effort. So we'll see how this plays out, but I'm confident in this destination and the resiliency of it.
Quick question to the mayor. A couple of things. Just looking around this right now, currently, on this beautiful day on Clearwater Beach, what percentage open do you think this beach is at this moment?
Well, the beach itself has been open really for several weeks. We've had.
Does it look like? There's no
Yes,
people?
it looks like this all the way up, pretty
But
much. Yeah.
What about the people? Where does it mean currently there's like zero, right?
Well, our hotel guest number is down a lot, and our hotel rooms are being filled a lot right now by construction workers and relief workers. So we don't have the tourists out here right now. We have had limited parking, so that has impacted folks who come in from around Tampa Bay to enjoy the beaches. So you don't see a lot of people out here today because of that, but we're clearing the parking lots out here, and we hope to have some of them partially cleared in the next few days, and then I'll invite people to come back on. And then our challenge will be short term is filling those hotel rooms with tourists, because many of them will be occupied by construction workers and relief workers.
Mayor, do you have any idea of how many people in your city work in the service industry, and can you just tell me what effect this has had on people who are in the hospitality industry?
Yeah, Joel may help me, Castelli, but I think the number is something like 10,000 workers or something, just in Clearwater Beach alone.
And what impact has this had on them? I mean,
Well, they rely on their hourly wages and their tips to eat. They live paycheck to paycheck, and so I was visiting many of the businesses the first day they opened, and I know some of the restaurateurs out here are paying their employees regardless of whether or not they're making money off guests or not, and that's not sustainable for very long. So we really need people to come back, at least come out here, enjoy a sunset and a dinner, to help our folks get through this, because it is significantly impactful to those families.
And just one more. So you know, the emphasis on getting the beach up and running, Clearwater Beach, the economic engine. But would there be somebody in some other part of Clearwater that doesn't rely on the beach, doesn't really go to the beach, who might have a pile of debris outside their house and wondering, you know, is the city sending all the people to the beach and not taking care of us?
Yeah. Well, we get those questions, of course. I will tell you though, the citizens of Clearwater have been tremendously respectful of others. We get a few calls about debris piles in front of somebody's house, but by and large, those are really rare. Everyone understands the significant debris, particularly out here on the barrier islands, that was damaged and sitting out there. And by and large, people have been very patient and understanding. And that's welcomed, because it will take us 3 or 4 months just in Clearwater alone to get rid of all this debris. And so that community cooperation has been great, and we hope it continues.
In your mind, is it beneficial even for that resident we just made the hypothetical up? In your mind, is it beneficial to open the beach for that resident as well?
Well, yes, because what happens what happens is those are their neighbors that are needing the paychecks to pay their bills. So it affects all of our economy here in Clearwater, whether you live on the beach or you don't. Certainly, it affects our property tax values, and that's significant impact to residents all over Clearwater, not just those who live out here on the beach. So it's sometimes hard to message the value of tourism to your community, to those who don't live directly on the beach, but certainly it impacts everyone in Clearwater, whether you live out here or not.
If you didn't get the reopening as you're anticipating for some reason, would it impact the future of public safety and city services in the city of Clearwater? If this economy doesn't get up and running?
Well, we're like all cities in Florida. We're heavily dependent on those property taxes to form our annual budget. So yes, I mean, if we can't get the tourism industry back, but I'm confident, Lloyd, it will. I mean, we are already, you see, almost all except for one of our resort hotels are already open. They're having business meetings and conferences already. There was one I attended a week or so ago. It had 450 attendees. So I'm confident we'll get there. And we want to kind of lead the way for our friends in Barrier Island south of us. They have sometimes older properties that have been more heavily damaged, and it may take them a while to get back, but we want to help them by opening and leading the way and bringing tourism back to the entire Barrier Islands by leading it here first.
Yeah, I was going to ask, kind of answered it to a degree, but how important is it for our other Barrier Island communities to get back online, to bring people back in together as a whole, to be able to draw people back in? Because people go, oh, it's just Clearwater, but the other beaches aren't open, we want to travel. Talk about how important it is to be able to benefit one another, to be able to get everybody back online, to really bring the entire Barrier Island.
Well, it's always surprising when we get hurricane hits anywhere in Florida, 500 miles away in Florida, people think the entire state's devastated. So that's certainly helpful, we think, for all the Barrier Islands here in Pinellas County. To see Clearwater Beach up and going, that will help the other Barrier Islands get going. But I've been in other tourism destinations with disasters, Panama City Beach, Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and the faster these hospitality industries and businesses get up and running, the better for them, their employees, and the community. So we're leading the way, and we know other communities along the barrier lines will follow, hopefully quickly. But we want to do what we can to help the entire region, entire county recover from these storms.
Yeah, so I know that the big message is tourism, everybody come out here again, but for those people who are traveling from afar and they want to book a hotel, a lot of these hotels are being used for people who are displaced, how will that impact people being able to stay here? What's your recommendation to people who are looking for a place to stay while they visit?
Well, we certainly encourage anybody who already had a room booked to go ahead and continue to visit. I think last weekend or the weekend before, I met a couple here from South Dakota. They'd booked their room months ago and they came anyway. Bachelor party, a group of guys from Missouri were here. There are already tourists keeping their reservations, and so we want to encourage that as much as we can. As I said, business conferences and meetings, keep those, and we haven't had very many cancellations. But the inventory is going to be tight out here for a while. I don't know that it's so much displaced people as it is just the construction industry, and those relief workers are taking up so many hotel rooms. So it may be somewhat hard to get a room if you don't already have one. But even that industry is helpful to us, just to get visitors out here. After they work during the day, they go out at night. And then certainly, as we said earlier, folks, a lot of our visitation out here comes from the area. We got folks from Hillsborough and Pasco and Polk County coming in every weekend to enjoy the beach. And so they may not be getting a room, but if they come in and they spend money at our restaurants here, that helps out all of our hospitality workers.
Any other questions? Oh, sorry, Terry, go ahead.
Speaking to the snowbird population who will be coming, say, after the holidays, how important is the snowbird population that migrates down here during the winter months to the community, and what would you want them to know about what to expect in the period starting after the holidays for their plans?
Well, I had the opportunity during, I think it was the day after landfall of Hurricane Milton, to speak on, I think, 3 Canadian national television networks. And I told them what I would tell them today, that by the time they get here for Snowbird season, this beach and many of our barrier island communities, at least the resort properties, will look a lot like they always have. I mean, that'll give us plenty of time. You've already seen the tremendous progress we've just made here. And I know the other barrier islands are working hard to get back as well. So whether you're in Dunedin or Clearwater, by the time they roll back in the end of November, December, they're going to have a similar experience to what they've already had there. Will there still be debris? Yes. Will there still be buildings damaged? Yes. They'll still see remnants for a long time of these 2 devastating hurricanes, but they're going to have largely the same experience that they've always had, enjoying and visiting Clearwater and Florida during the winter.
Is there any push to move them more towards likely cities like downtown St. Pete, or direct them to places that are maybe better?
Well, you know, many of them have properties here. I mean, they own a condo, or they spend about half their year here. So I don't know that housing is always. Certainly when the Blue Jays come in, there'll be a lot of them come in for spring training, and hopefully by then we'll have enough recovery work done that our hotel rooms will be more available for them and less so for construction workers and relief workers. But you know, I don't think it's going to be a major problem. What they need to know in Canada, by the time they get here, they're going to have a very similar experience, like we are here today, out here on this beach, to what they've always had in Tampa Bay.
And how important is the snowbird population to this area that comes from Canada, but also the northern parts of the U.S.?
Oh, it's significant. I mean, Ryan can speak to it, but particularly the Canadian presence here is a significant part of our community and our tourism community.
Any other questions? All right.
Thank you for coming today, and
Thank you.
I wanted to thank. We've got a number of business leaders here. Clearwater Marine Aquarium, and we've got Lisa Chandler's here from Pier 60, and I'm leaving some folks out, but our entire business community has been amazing, in addition to our city workers, and I want to thank all of them for coming out here today too. Thank you.